My name is Jeff, and welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. This is... I wrote that out, Jeff. Do you want me to? I didn't plan that.
Did you really write that out?
I did.
Did you do that intentionally, or did you just forget your name?
Oh yeah, no, I totally forgot my name.
That would
that's
be
totally what
pretty
happened,
hilarious.
and I didn't actually just write my Jeff voice in the notes.
I already even introduced myself when I introduced you.
know.
I just say welcome to the show. I don't even say my name. Yeah, that's funny.
I know.
Ah.
This is Just Desserts, the Lollygaggers versions of Perils and Princesses, Sweet Revenge. We actually have everybody today. We're a full house. And Aaron gets to kind of figure out who gravied him, maybe, or maybe not, if he gets to be one of the other bundles of sticks. All right, so for our story so far, our princess party, I'm just going to quickly summary, quick for me. Our princess party have found themselves trapped in the Tanglewood forest after answering the kingdom's... Okay, you don't need to time it, Jeff. I can see you. Kingdom's call for brave adventurers. Their goal to uncover... You think you're so funny. The goal to uncover the source of the confectionery curse that has started to spill out into the greater world before everything becomes candy. Upon entering the region near the village of Deer Hollow, the party was first attacked by a dark chocolate knight riding a white chocolate horse who seemed to split in half, showing human teeth in its stomach. Drawn by the sound of combat, a large purple wolf jumped out of the forest and attacked the knight. A friendly-looking chocolate lab, there you go, Jeff, also trotted out of the forest after the wolf. Escaping during the distraction, the party has found a safe place to rest. In the morning, they heard the cries of a young boy, completely innocent and not at all obnoxious. A young boy being attacked by a large grizzly covered in gummy legions that tend to explode as they watched. Thinking quickly, Letty of Jade Peaks, otherwise known as Jeff, used their fairy godmother's gift to create a pit that the bear fell into. The next challenge then was convincing the young Rory Foster to climb down from the tree, which actually took a few people to try. Rory led the team to the village of Deer Hollow, where his father, Gerald, was organizing a search party. You then noticed that every human that was there was partially cursed or turning into candy. Gerald took his son by the ear and led him off, while introducing the party to the mayor, Theo Everson, who kind of defined what was going on with Selena, the captain of the guard that had sacrificed herself by looking in the Amalfic mirror to try to break the curse, and had been placed upon them by Delphina. And then the mayor sort of introduced them to, or talked about the rest of the villagers, and sort of pushed the party into talking to them. And if they investigate and sort of break the curse, they would have free lodging, and that essentially they've got 7 days to do this. So far, the party has met Hannah Hawk, the prophetess of the Laughing Goat Inn, who asked for a wakey-wakey potion in exchange for a mask. Connie West, a missing courier from Gentle Falls, who asked Adelaide to find a way to get her letters home, and in exchange would give someone magical boots. Odessa Fox, a cobbler who loves pixies, and maybe also the pixies, and claims that they have that the pixies have created a mist barrier around their village to block large folks from being able to enter it. And you have to be small to get in. And then they finally encountered Rory Clearwater, the last family member able to run the potion shop, and sister of Celine, who asked the party to try her latest attempt at a cure for the confectionery curse. Letty drank the experiment, and unfortunately it was a 50-50 roll. Bad luck. But you did get the shrinking potion with 8 charges in it. Each charge lasts 24 hours. And as mentioned, Letty did get cursed by this, so she now has the saltwater taffy curse. And Letty, what do you look like as a taffy, sort of the starting of your taffy curse?
So I think that because Letty's got a lot of patches on her skin that are rock-like, I think the parts of her skin that look normal are starting to go slightly discolored and are a little like gummy in places and sticky. And so I think she's really just getting the worst of both worlds now. She's already got her rock issue, like with her skin and her sort of her stone situation. And now this is just like the good parts are getting sticky. Like she'll put her hand down like on a counter, and when she pulls it off, like there's something stuck to it, that kind of thing.
Lovely. All right. So that is our story so far. Now, our princesses, let's sort of reintroduce them again. Jeff, unfortunately, just talked, and we can give him a break for a little bit. Yeah, very unfortunate. So instead, we're going to look at Melissa. Melissa, would you like to? I also think I'm funny sometimes. I'm just saying I'd rather. No, I wouldn't. Melissa, would you like to introduce your princess and your gift?
I'm enjoying you digging your hole, so you can just keep digging if you want, or I suppose
no, it's okay. It's okay. This will all be edited out by Jeff, so that.
So I am playing Adelaide of Gentle Falls. So in terms of appearance, she generally has a listening quality to her. What I roll the character creation is that at first glance, people notice my endearing, mischievous smile. And kind of what I did with that is that when she kind of drinks her brew that she can brew, she basically pops up these little berries that make her smile. And so kind of when she does her little bits of healing at this point, she's kind of popping those berries off and kind of giving them to folks as needed.
All right. And going kind of down then, Derek, do you want to introduce Lady Lagolla Lathington?
Yes, so I am Lady Lagolla Lathington, that's right. My gift is the Wild Heart ability, so I can commune with all manner of creature and animal and become friends with them, which is the most important thing. And I had quite a few things, but I'll try to keep it brief. Her clothing was like aristocrat level clothing that she has since like tailored and altered into like hiking wear. So it's like very fine materials, and it's still clean and kept well. But of course, she lives out in the forest. And I'll mention that one item of her apparel, she has a teacup holster that she carries around because tea time is always important. So that is her.
That's true. All right. And then, Jeff, would you like to introduce Letty? Yeah. Or just, go across.
Me? Okay. Yeah, sure. So Letty of Jade Peak, she is an earthbender. No, that's the wrong franchise. She has an elemental connection, and her element is earth. So she is capable of speaking to rocks, communicating with them as she did last time around. I noticed that wasn't part of the summary. That was kind of curious how the conversation I had, the friend I made at the fireplace just wasn't okay. I guess it didn't meet. Everything else met muster, but apparently that didn't. But she, so I think she's fairly tall, but she also has kind of soft spoken at the same time. And she has these she wears like pilgrim clothing. She's sort of from this remote area up a mountain. And I think like she maybe has like her lineage, maybe has some like stone giant in her, which is why she's so tall, why she has these, this sort of discolorations, these gray patches of skin with these jade veins that pop up. And she walks around. She has a big, like petrified wood staff, like almost stone-like in its own right. And the only adornments she really has are like jade, like a jade necklace with like a bear claw and like some jade, like the other jade stones and things like that. And you'll find her often caring more about the rocks and the earth than about these horrific people who live within Deer Hollow, especially Rory. Just gonna say, someone had to say,
charming lad.
I don't think that means the same thing in Canada as it does here in the U.S.
Oh well, we can readjust. You're American after all. I'm gonna turn everyone against me. All right, Aaron, you come to consciousness in someone's backpack. So if you'd like to roll, or if you want to decide randomly, or roll it like a d4 and then re-roll on a 4 or something like that.
I'll roll a d6. 1,
Okay.
2, Letty. 3, 4, Adelaide. 5, 6, Lady Lagolla.
All right.
I am in Letty's backpack.
You definitely come to consciousness with gravy poured upon you.
That's great.
My quest completed.
As you find yourself in a backpack filled with bits of jade and rock and maybe some books. I actually have to look at your character sheet, Jeff.
Scented talcum powder. So kind of the same thing as a book.
Okay. Yeah. Same. But yeah, and you're able to sort of start to restructure yourself and climb out of this backpack. You find yourselves in a potion shop. You see your friends have been talking to this sort of young woman who has this pink swirl hair and these very cute little confectionery freckles of candy. But even so, you can see sort of the bags under her eyes of exhaustion. And she's kind of shocked at the appearance of you. What would Gallicrow look like coming out of this bag?
So
Covered, dripping in gravy.
Yeah. So Gallicrow, you would first see his head pop out. And it's kind of a moon-shaped bone mask of a face with just huge blank eyes, no nose, and this mouth that stretches from the side of his face to the other side of his face. And then you see these branches and twigs start to come out, and it looks like a bundle of wood. But then they crack into place, and you see the vines wrapped around his arms like tendons. And then he slides out this stick figure. And you see him then reach back into the backpack and pull out some straw and maybe some scented talcum powder and a little bit of gravy, and he shoves it in his chest cavity. And then he pulls out from his chest cavity a patchwork coat, very colorful patchwork coat. And he puts it on. And then from inside of his coat, he pulls out this giant straw hat and puts it on his head. And then his head just sort of rolls around in a giant circle. He's like, well, I took quite the nap. Whoever fed me the gravy is quite kind. I can't actually eat, but I know that if I was human, I would have loved it. And that's the goal.
Oh, welcome to my potion shop. I guess, Letty, here's your shrinking potion. And she keeps kind of getting distracted by.
Thank you. This is a friend of ours. I'm so glad to see you, Gallicrow. So glad. And she's not feeling well.
Yes, you look quite peaked. And then his head slams into the counter, and he's like, I forget, it's so heavy.
Be careful of the potion bottles. And she's like grabbing at the side where there's some rattling of 3 potions. And Gallicrow, as you look around, even you can tell, not necessarily something that consumes liquids and solids, but that a lot of these shelves seem quite empty in this potion shop. So if you guys get me some ingredients, I'm happy to make potions for you at cost, or I've also got these ones to sell if you need healing potions or whatever. I can try to make a cure again, but it took me like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, so I don't know that we'll have enough time left.
Well, the first time takes the longest. The times after. Oh, goodness. Oh. I don't feel good. You'll go faster next time with the second batch.
I'm really sorry.
It's
what's the
fine. This is stuck to my hand. Is first of all, I can't get it off. Oh goodness!
And like as she pulls off, like I don't know, like some kind of advert or broadside or something like that, she'll yank that off for the. You can see like her palm has grown very colorful. Like her skin, just in the short time since she's consumed it, you can see her skin is getting colorful, but also there's like a texture to it. Like you can tell that it's sticky. You can see that kind of like chewed gum or candy. Like you can tell there's a stickiness to it. And she just looks a little bit off. And so like there's not and there's other patches like that, like little small they almost look like contusions at first, but when you look a little bit more closely, you see that they're not injuries so much as they are just like this discoloration. These little lesions are starting to show on various parts of her body. It's probably not like overwhelming, but noticeable places.
Letty, you were so brave to drink that.
It's really thirsty and impatient, to be honest. But it's better that I drink it than you all drink it.
But next time, though, I should drink it, though, because I'm immune to illness, infection, and poison. So it might help me.
As far as I understand it, this is a curse. It's not an illness or an infection.
Yeah.
Well,
not an infection of your being.
We should.
Well,
we can try it.
Soul, maybe.
Anyway, though, can I try? And I know this isn't going to be successful because I can just heal HP, but Adelaide would still try to like kind of pull one of her berries off, and you just see she just kind of goes a little like, oh. And she kind of pulls it off.
I thought you were pulling like
no.
like, get the hell off me, you crazy woman.
Yeah, just sort of like pulling a little berry off, and so like every time she just smiles like a little less, or smiles a little smaller as she pulled it off. Just, I don't know if this is going to work, but you should eat it just in case. Just try it.
That's like saying, taste this. Tell me if it tastes bad. Well,
for a blackhead. What?
No. Just
okay, I'll try.
And she'll reach out with like one of like her stone hand. I'm gonna say now at this point, like she's got one hand that's sort of stone, and then one hand that's flesh. She reaches out, she grabs it. She probably feels even more comfortable with the stone hand. Grabs it and puts it into her mouth. Begins to chew, feeling very awkward, perhaps about eating your beauty mole or whatever it might be. But she starts to chew it. I would assume it probably has an effect.
And Adelaide, I believe that just is healing, or do you want to discuss your kind of like gift?
So this is level 1 magic touch is just sort of how I'm flavoring it. So with a touch, it's making contact with a creature to restore. I guess if I'm spending 1 gift dice, then that would be 1 HP.
It's just going to be, this is RPing. We're not going to make you roll for this. But yeah, Jeff, you feel like if you had injuries, it feels like it's filling you up and fixing any like scrapes and wounds that you had, but it does not affect the curse.
So maybe there's just like some really surface level scrapes that she has left that kind of close up. Not like stuff that was already healing, that just kind of gets it the rest of the way.
Oh, I appreciate the attempt, Adelaide, but
it still looks sticky and colorful.
Well, having walked around this deer hollow and meeting all the other folk, I don't think the solution's going to be quite that simple. I think we better start.
You're right. I thought I would try.
No, it was a good idea. It was a good idea, but
if you ever have extra of those, I can try to experiment on them and maybe turn it into a new cure to try. I've never played with magic berries before.
Like an extra one of these, and she to the other side of her smile. She was
That's really weird to watch, but yes.
Here you go.
Thank you. And you'll see. She'll kind of like look around a little bit and go, and then kind of like I need to experiment, and she'll start to like jitter a little bit. Can you go somewhere else? I need to lock the shop. I need to go into the alchemy section, and go say hi to my folks in the town hall.
We have plenty of other places that we can go to. It's okay. I'm not sure if you'll be able to do anything with that berry. It's sort of a gift from my fairy godmother, so I'm not sure. You're happy to try and see if it could help, but it sort of is gift.
Well, my
in
gift
that
is
way.
more to do with cooking, so maybe I can use this in some way like that.
There's lots of yummy things that are made with berries. I've never tried to make something with one of these berries, but I trust that you've got good. We'll go now. We'll go.
Yeah, thanks. Bye. And she'll kind of push you out the door, kind of avoiding sort of eye contact with Letty, clearly feeling a little bit ashamed at her latest failure. Now she did. Baz is at the town hall right now. He was like my sister's best friend. Or I don't know. I'm sure you have some other people like Gerald you wanted to talk to about Rory.
Oh my God! Just go and cook and experiment. We'll be fine.
Okay. Yep. And she'll close the door.
It's like these people don't know they've got like a week to live. It's so peculiar.
Yeah. Anyhow,
We could still talk to the cobbler, because they're the Pixies fan. We might be able to get some more information about the Pixies now that we've got the potions to make us small. You know.
Yeah, and you'll see Adelaide has pulled her backpack out, and she had all of these sticks in her bag that she thought was Gallicrow. And so she like kind of opens up this bag, and she just sort of looks at all of the sticks that are in it, and sort of looks to you, Gallicrow. I thought I was you were in Letty's bag.
My dear, I think you've misplaced our kindling when we were camping out in the woods.
Are you sure you don't have a traveling companion, Gallicrow?
Well, now let me see what you've got in the bag.
And she just sort of
sticks his head in, and you hear this kind of crunching noise and chewing sound. He comes up, he starts spitting some sawdust out. That was delicious. Sort of. I mean, I can't really taste, but thank you.
So there wasn't another one of you that I was carrying, because you would have just eaten them?
Well, that would be rude.
Okay.
But no, there was not another one of me. There is just the only me that I know of, at least as far as I know. The Bramble Queen said that I was her only made-up son, so if she made another, she's been lying to me my entire life.
Oh, well, I'm really glad, because I dropped my bag earlier.
I
and
think
it's
been
bad,
7
so
days. 7 days of life. Can you imagine being lied to for 7 whole days? Tragedy.
That's a long time. This was kind of heavy for me to carry, so I'm just going to take these out, and I'm just going to put them here, and she's just going to kind of take these sticks out of her bag and just sort of like...
Gallicrow starts picking them up and stuffing them in his chest cavity. You never can tell when you're going to need just a little bit of extra length to your arm.
I like to think one of them is like a broom handle, and we're just like going like, I told her that was just a broom. I don't know why she took that. She's a little daft.
That would make an excellent leg. If my leg falls off, Letty, take this broom handle and just break it in half and tie some ropes and just shove it on up there into my hip.
She grabs the stick, but then it gets stuck to her hand.
This is so annoying.
And rips it out.
Okay, so I'm not sure how much you caught in the pack, but we've got some leads on how I can possibly go about collecting the various things we might need to figure out how to break the curse. Like, well, there's the Pixies. We could talk to the blacksmith, because she might know something about the Earl King. We can and then we could talk to Gerald. We could talk to Rory's dad, but wait, maybe we save that for last. After getting really sick, I don't know if I can deal with Rory like right this moment.
Isn't there something that we need to go out? Like, there's an ingredient for the wakey potion that we have to like go out somewhere and gather.
Yes,
those things.
That might be on the way to something we have to do that's a bit more important.
We need to get thundering needles. I think it was called, something like that. Or maybe it was rainbow shrooms. I don't know. I'm really not feeling well. But let's we should chop, get on this fast. There it is. thundering nettle, not needles. Inspiration just came to me.
Oh, damn it. They can see that on the overlay. I got to hide that.
Oh,
there we go. Now they can't see it. Inspiration came to me. See?
Yeah. Totally randomly and no prompting. I will say, I believe Miss Fox the Cobbler also mentioned that there was rumors of a rainbow circle with a rock in it around the foraging ground.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, I remember something about rainbow something or other. Yeah.
Yeah. And so there is the option of foraging, and also some event may exist there.
Okay. Well,
right.
where do y'all
Lagolla, who do you
first?
think we should talk to?
Oh, I beat you to it. So that means you've got to make the decision.
I punted it to Lagolla. Where do you think we should go, Lagolla?
Well, we have what we need to take care of getting to the land of pixies. I say we figure out if there's anything we need to get this ring from the Earl King, so I guess we talk to Maya the blacksmith.
Okay. Can do that.
Sounds good.
For some reason, I wrote down in my notes that they might like me. I might get along with them. I don't remember exactly why.
Somebody did mention
illness.
That.
Oh, goodness. It's doing numbers with my memory.
Yeah, somebody mentioned you would get along with the blacksmith. Maybe it's personality type. But that does make me wonder. Letty, are your mortal enemies masons?
No, why would they be? They care for the stones. They ensure the stones. It's like getting a haircut, They make sure the stones are, they look as beautiful as they can be,
I see. Okay.
It's a good question, now. I don't care what Adelaide says. You're a bright one.
You.
Adelaide's walking towards the blacksmith. Are you coming?
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So the potion shop and the blacksmith, quite a short, they're very close together. So you quickly, Adelaide, find yourselves sort of smelling burning coal and hot steel, and you hear the sounds of a striking hammer. And as you open the door, you see a woman holding a woman holding a hammer, striking a piece of hot metal again and again and again as it rings out throughout the shop, almost hurting your ears with the sound of it. She is this sort of tall woman. She's got a little bit darker skin. Her long hair, you realize, is what you thought originally was braids, is actually black licorice Twizzlers. Black licorice sort of Twizzlers is the look. It's a brand, but it's licorice. And she, as she kind of side eyes you as you guys come in, she takes this hot metal and she steams it, then plunges it down into what is some kind of liquid. You're not sure if it's oil or water based on what she's trying to make. And as she pulls it out, it is, you realize, this beautiful long sword that almost looks like a clock hand. And then she sets it down on a stone table near her. All right. Your lot is new here and you're not cursed. What do you want?
That's a very good question. I don't know, because I've got gravy in my ears and I couldn't hear a damn thing.
Sorry, I got distracted. I was going to talk to the table, but we were told that you might know a bit about the Earl King.
Oh, the fucking A. You're talking to the Fae again. You want them. They're fond of stealing humans. They stole my husband. And she's looking then towards the sword. I'm going to take him back someday soon. If you are friends with him, we've got problems.
We're not friends with him, per se. We're just trying to unravel the mystery of this curse, and we're trying to save everyone in Deer Hollow and across the Tanglewood. And was it Celine, right? That was her name? Because I remember we were making Celine Dion jokes. Celine was able to communicate certain information about how we might unravel that curse, and one of them had to deal with the Earl King, and I was just Maybe wondering.
The fucking rhyme. What was it? A ring of gold from the Earl King's hand. That's what you're after. Fair enough. All right. Then listen here. I'll tell you what I want to know about the Fae. They tend to have portals, and they steal humans. Like I said, I believe my husband was taken maybe by a song in the woods. So we're going after them. They don't like iron, right? Pretty standard, but it only works in our realm. If you try to attack them with iron in their own realm, they're just going to laugh at you. They're long-lived, and they're dickheads.
Okay, that's all very helpful. So we attack them with iron here, but not in their realm.
Yeah, you got to be good about persuasive talking. Not exactly my strong suit.
Is that so? You said they stole your husband with a song.
Yeah, so his fairy godmother gave him beauty, and one of them, I think, decided to take him. So the mayor thinks he's been murdered in the woods, but I'm swear up and down it was the Fae. So that song is a hint, and I need to find him at some point. I've been after him for 7 years now.
Do you know anything about the song?
I didn't hear it. It was Hannah at the inn. She mentioned that he had mentioned to her before he'd disappeared about it. So neither her nor I were able to ever learn it.
Okay. And do you know whereabouts he might have gone missing, or where one of these portals might open up?
So for me, I suspect it's somewhere down south. I think there's a weird circle of mushrooms apparently that cropped up, or the lake, or somewhere further down than that. But the pixies haven't. I tried to go after Odessa Fox into getting the pixies to tell me where the entry is, and she's not in for it. So I'm gonna have to steal some shrinking potion from Roxy and see if I can't.
We've got some shrinking potion, and we were possibly going to go see the pixies. Honestly, it's all I can think about now is the pixies.
Well, look here. If you manage to get there, and get that information, I'll be. All right. Here's the thing, and she then looks at this beautiful sort of sword on the side. You talk to them pixies, they don't tend to like me. They're joyous and fun-loving, and for some reason, they don't like me very much. So if you happen to get there, you get their information, you get into the Earl King for this quest thing. If you happen to bring my husband back, this sword is yours for free. It's my life's work. I've been toiling for years and years and years just to make this thing. It's it's magical, all right? I can actually, because of my fairy godmother, I'm able to make magical weapons. I can sell you mundane stuff normally, but this has taken me years to make, and I'm not willing to give it for anything less than my husband back.
Seems fair. That seems like a fair trade. Okay. Well, is there any? So to the south, you said there's a circle of shrooms, or you said maybe by a lake. Those are two different places, right?
Yeah. They don't like talking to me for some reason, so I haven't been able to get any information.
Right. Well, I mean, maybe we can talk to them. We we're new in town, so maybe whatever bad blood in history might be there with you, and in the pixies might not apply to us. Maybe they'd be more willing to talk to outsiders.
I'd appreciate it. You seem like an upright sort. I think small talk is a pain, so if you do this, I'll help you. I can, again, cheap weapons for you. And she'll kind of look over at a stool, and you can see a little shawl there. I got a shawl for my husband as my last gift. If you happen to get information before getting my husband, that was it keeps you warm in a cold environment. It's a bit magic itself. I got it supposedly from a fae as well, but this one was also from my husband, so I'm not getting rid of it unless you, if you get some information, I'm willing to help donate some items for it,
Got it. So get your husband or information about your husband, and then you give us like all the stuff. Understood.
Depending on what it is, yes.
Letty,
Okay.
does that mean we get to go dance with the pixies? Because I feel like dancing.
I would
They do
quite love it.
unfortunately
I'm a
like
huge
dancing as
Pixies
well.
fan. I just hope it doesn't get violent. You know, I don't want like a wave of mutilation going down or anything like that.
I love a good wave of mutilation. I think it's worth it every now and again.
Maybe. Okay,
Especially if it's Fae. The pixies are fine. They're just really fun-loving, and I can't seem to connect with them for some reason.
It seems quite strange. You've made such a wonderful impression on us. It's, you know, it seems so affable.
Yes.
Yes. Hi, I'm Adelaide.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yes, the two shops, me and the general store, which Zeke runs. If you need stuff, we got it. When you're questing, I guess you're here for the curse, right? But yeah. Find any weird Fae stuff, show it to me. I'm happy to try to discern what it does for you.
Okay. Well,
I don't think we have anything yet, but we'll do our best. It sounds like you really miss your husband.
There's certain things that motivate a person. One of them is sweet revenge. And I think, I think the just desserts might be coming for the Earl King. There we go. We got both of them in there.
You said the name of the thing.
But,
and Adelaide, one of Adelaide's motivation is making friends. So she's going to like make the introductions to everyone else in the group and do the whole social thing that this woman clearly enjoys so very much. This is Lagolla, and that's Gallicrow, and you've been talking to Letty.
Right. You want
do you
to
mind
buy
if
stuff or...
I was just going to talk to your table. Is that all right?
It's a bit weird. I think you should go now.
It's
okay,
no,
that's fair.
She talks to it's actually not weird. It's actually very, very normal. You should say yes. We're doing you a favor, and we're not going to get paid until we get back. So I think you should say yes.
I think you should go now.
Okay, all right. I mean,
sorry, Letty.
As we're leaving, Letty's going to say, so she tells a story about how her husband was stolen by Faye with a song, but me talking to a table, that's weird. That's beyond the pale. Okay, sure. That makes perfect sense. Everyone in their entire town is turning into candy, but no, strange little, stone giant woman can't talk to a table. Fine, whatever. This town, I swear.
Oh, I would have let you talk to a table if I had a table.
Okay, well. It's not just any table. There was a stone table. I don't want to talk to a wood table. Never mind. Where are we going next?
My elbows and knees are made of stone. You can talk to them if you want.
That's
well,
really
rocks,
interesting. Letty will try and wants to figure out, are these rocks that are part of it, are they separate entities than Gallicrow?
Sticks and stones make up my bones.
Exactly.
And words will always confuse me.
I think they are legitimately built in as parts of him.
Okay.
So they are not going to be separate entities that can communicate with you.
Letty's like, that means we're like cousins. Oh,
well, of course we are.
No. Oh, and she's
what's a cousin?
Well, what like a brother and a sister are, right? It's like that.
Yes, I don't have any.
Well, it's like that, except fortunately, you don't have to spend as much time with them, and you're not as like connected to them over the course of your lifetime. So you can just kind of see them once every couple of years or so, and you don't really feel obligated to do too much. It's like it's a nice little in between. Kind of like that.
Well, that sounds wonderful, but I can't imagine not seeing you every day, Letty.
Well, then maybe we're not cousins. Maybe we're like best friends or something. Maybe that's what
best friends. I love this.
There's so many callbacks in this game.
Oh goodness.
For people who want that reference, watch our Asrum streams. Arzu.
Mm-hmm. Arzu,
yes.
All right, so where do we want to go next? Like, do we want to talk to other people? We want to get the hell out of this town and start doing something, or do we want to keep talking to folk?
I don't know, but I really want to see some pixies. Would they ride inside my head? Can you imagine pixies flying behind my eyes and making my face glow?
I think that would terrify
Yes.
some people.
Well, maybe if we get off on a good foot with them, they might do that, you know?
I could give them my left foot. It's my best, so it would be the good one. But then I can't dance.
Right. But then we've got the broomstick and we can replace your leg. So it's perfect.
I love this. I could be Gallicrow the pirate with a peg leg.
There we go. See, plans coming together. Everything's looking... and she spits up and there's like a chunk of taffy that comes out of her mouth. Oh, I was about to say everything's looking up.
Oh.
And then this happened. Okay,
So
well...
I think we should probably get moving unless there's someone that we really need to talk to before we go, because that doesn't look so good for Letty.
Doesn't look good at all.
No. So yes, you guys, as mentioned previously, it would take you about a day's travel to get to Berrybrook, or the misty area that you've been told is where the pixies hang out by Odessa Fox. Or alternatively, there is still the town hall was mentioned, and the general store are the two remaining locations, and other than Gerald and Rory. For some reason, Letty doesn't want to go talk to them, but you know.
So going to the town hall would be chatting with the mayor?
No, he's actually the mayoral manse. Wow. Okay.
And we talked to him briefly, right? Because I remember
When he was
what
at the
looked like.
inn?
He
Okay.
sort
Yeah.
of gave the thing. They mentioned, so the thing with the town hall is everybody that remains within the village when they're not in their shops are all staying together at the town hall to try to avoid getting eaten by rats, I believe was mentioned, and are as a safety precaution. And it was, you know, that Roxy had said that her parents weren't around, and then had also mentioned go talk to her parents in the town hall, but which seems a bit peculiar. But yes, so that is not necessary. You guys can totally just go to try to talk to the pixies.
Well, I mean, we could do a quick drive-by of the town hall, see if there's anything going on. Or you know, we could just go, you know, que sera, just kind of, you know, get out on the road and do our thing.
Well, I don't know what driving is, but let's go there. Let's drive by.
It's like when you climb on a horse and you tell it which way to go.
What's a horse?
Well, it's like that thing that we saw yesterday, or was it it was yesterday. And then like the chocolate lab came and then someone got eaten. And then,
that's a horse.
Yes. Yeah,
Are they always made of chocolate?
Well, no, that's a little new and part of the problem, apparently. So, you know. Okay.
Okay. So drive by the town hall and then we'll go.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay. All right. To the town hall.
Right. So you guys hustle through the town square past the beautifully created stone well in the middle, up towards the town hall. And as you get towards the door, you saw this fellow as you were going to the mayoral manse, but a large sort of guard. He is dressed in a blue uniform with bits of metal attached to him, and he's sort of oddly yellow. He looks like his skin is gone that very bright lemon color, and there's that fine white sort of mist around him or coating that you would find on, say, a warhead.
Okay.
A lemon drop?
Yeah, something extremely sour and a little bit more extreme than a lemon drop.
Got it.
And he's standing there. He's got one hand sort of on this beautiful spear, and looking at it, you can tell it's actually a spearman spear. It's got that circular pattern that you actually saw on the Chocolate Night as well. So he seems to have gotten his hands on one of them. Halt! Who goes there?
Yes, hi. My name is Adelaide. This is Letty and Lagolla and Gallicrow. Hi.
Ah, hello, welcome. The mayor has informed me that you are to be let in and given lodging at the inn while you're here. Welcome to the town hall. I am here 24/7, all the time. I am here to defend the people that remain in town.
You must be so tired.
Yes, and I feel underutilized, to say the least. I should be out there. I fought the dark chocolate night with Celine, and now I am here.
Oh, that must have been really scary when you did that.
Yes, it was quite an achievement. We actually heard the last words Dulcina actually said, which was the curse on this town.
Oh, that was most unfortunate. That spear looks sort of familiar. We saw something like that just yesterday.
Yes. So as I mentioned, I have actually fought the Dark Chocolate Knight. I swear I did destroy him. He comes back, and I was able to retrieve this spear off his body. It is my proof.
Oh, okay. So what do you think you would be doing better if you weren't here? It seems like guarding everyone in the town hall is a really important job because the rats are wanting to eat everything that's sweet.
Yes. Let me show you. And he'll open sort of the town hall doors and guide you guys to the back of the town hall. And it's been this space that's been decluttered. They've pushed all of the furniture along sort of to the walls. All like the seating, the lamps, the tables have either been shoved out or you suspect thrown out the back of the town hall to make room. And you see sort of mats where people clearly have been sleeping, and they've got little knickknacks next to them. So they've tried to personalize this, but it is definitely like an emergency shelter. And at the very back wall, there is these glass cabinets. Some of them appear to be cabinets that would have held trophies at some point in time, or china cabinets. In other cases, they seem to have been from different houses based on sort of the differences in sort of their construction. Some of them very elegant, some of them very rudimentary. And they all have candy in them. You see gingerbread people, you see cupcakes, you see gumdrops, you see just sort of lollipops and toffee squares. And some of them have little bites taken out of them. This is the town. Welcome to Deer Hollow. This is everybody that we hope to bring back once the curse is lifted. And there are probably like 7,500 pieces of candy. This is who we've managed to rescue before the rats got them. And he'll point to a gingerbread man his leg is just gone, and you see little bites. They managed to get some people as well. Unfortunately, we can't tell exactly when people change, which is why we need them to be here. So it's just safety. We can tell if they change in their sleep, and protect them from the rats. They come a lot, and they sneak in through all the corners, and we try to stop them, and they don't like me for some, obvious reason, because I'm quite sour. But they like all of the rest of the sugar, and they've gone and gotten this sugar craze that seems to have affected the greater animal population.
We saw a bear on our way in that was the same, very crazed and wanting sugar.
They've been getting worse. And the rats come quite often. If you have a way of protecting them, of stopping and blocking the holes, of stopping the rats from sort of, I guess, just trying to break in, and he'll look at his spear. I'll trade you my spear. It's the best thing I have, and I can then get out there and start fighting the Chocolate Knight again like I was supposed to. I feel like I can't do anything here. Yes, protecting the people, important, great, but it's not active, it's passive, it's reactive. I need to be out there. Dulcina needs to be taken down again. However, she's done this curse, and I will put my fist through her face if I can again.
Did that? You'll give her a broken face.
I hope so.
Well, why don't we put our heads together? And she'll kind of look to Letty and Lagolla and Gallicrow. I think maybe if we put our heads together, we can try to think of a trap or something. I'm sure you've all thought of lots of things that you could try. And so, well, we'll see. Maybe we can come up with something that could help you.
If you take out the rats, if you find something, we've already tried blocking the little, and you see bits of rags and things stuffed into corners. But, and he'll like look up at the ceiling. Then they come from above. But yes, if you have an idea, I'm happy to hear it. We're happy to try it. If I can get out there like I'm supposed to be.
Do you know where the rats are coming from?
They come from the, I think, west area, maybe. It's hard to say. But yes, I believe a little bit more west somewhere. Maybe northwest.
Because it sounds like if we were going to try to stop the rats, we should try to stop them in their burrow before they actually get out. Otherwise, they'll go everywhere.
Yes, if you can find it, I'm sure.
So the rats don't attack you because you're sour. Maybe.
I've been told that I taste disgusting.
Maybe if we get some other things that taste disgusting and use those to plug up the holes, maybe the rats won't come in here. Like, you've got a baker, right? Maybe they can make a whole bunch of sourdough and we can just use that to plug up all the holes.
I'd be willing to try anything at this point in time. Even sourdough in all the holes.
Right, this is getting uncomfortable, but yes, got it.
We could also try to make a trap maybe somewhere that's on like the west side of town so that when they're on their way in, that they'll be drawn to the sweet thing, and then we can trap them over there, and then the ones that don't fall into the trap will be blocked by all of the sour stuff here.
Well, maybe we task some of the people in the village with making a bunch of sour food while we go out into, the wilds to deal with.
Food is getting to be a bit of a scarce resource with it all turning to candy and becoming sweet.
Well, it doesn't have to be food. Anything can be sour. It just can't be, like maybe some of the plants that are out. And like you've got like an alchemist. Do you have like an herbalist? Someone who might be able to find some of
and he'll like point to a little toffee square. That was the best one we had. And then he'll point to a pair of cupcakes, one with sort of a blue swirl top and one with a white swirl top. And there's the master and mistress of the potion shop.
Well, we gotta find something. What's something else that tastes really bad that we might find in the village or in the immediate outskirts? Because honestly, there's a lot of tasks that need to get done, and I don't think we can do all of them ourselves. I think, we maybe help them help themselves,
Yeah, that's fair. We really should be.
I can brew things. Maybe I can help brew something that's a little sour.
Oh, okay. That could work.
I believe if you're brewing, obviously you'll probably want to go to the potion shop or the bakery because they have the kitchens or the tools with which to do that.
I
Could always
suppose.
some Letty's new taffy off of her body and then soak it in the sour stuff that you brew and then shove it in the holes, because then it would be sour and sticky and trap the rats.
That's true. We could also take the guard and we can remove parts of him and put that as part of the concoction. Oh, they don't grow back?
No. I suppose you're going to be learning this pretty soon. And he'll like look at his arm. It breaks off. You can put it back on, but you don't grow a new one.
Oh. Well, how much do you really care about the people in this village? Are you willing to make sacrifices?
I'm sacrificing my time every day to keep them safe.
Is time really a sacrifice, though?
For me, yes.
Okay, well, I think we've learned a lot about who you are now.
So if we go, we could take a little. So that means we probably shouldn't take any of your taffy then, Letty. That makes sense.
Well, look, everybody knows the curse-breaking rhyme. You should know that I suspect, I don't have proof of this, but one of the items is a tale of the king of the Pixies' land. Pixies don't have tails, but rats do.
Oh, so it's a rat tail that we have to get?
That's my suspicion. I, again, don't know for sure, haven't been there, but it could be. I suspect that might be part of it. Celine was a great captain of the guard, and she was able to do this thinking part of this. I just kind of smash things, but tail is a tail, and rats have tails.
That's, and songs like this, and riddles like this, they trip you up.
Yes.
With things like that. Tails and tails and...
Yes, it's very confusing.
Tricky. Okay, I will see if I can really quick brew up, yes, I will try to brew something sour
yes.
At the bakery that we can stuff into things, and maybe we could make a trap, and then you'll help us?
Yes, I will. Of course, you're the adventurers that are questing to bit this. I should tell you, the last words of Dulcinea. That's probably important to your quest, or maybe not. But yes, if
please.
You can brew that, I will give you my spear, and then I can just punch things in the face.
And then you'll tell us the last words of...
No, sorry, I should tell you that now.
Thank you.
And you see him trying to like focus and remember for a little bit. My magic will infect the land. It will infect the animals. It will infect their very bones. My death will only be the beginning of your problems. You will never escape.
Yeah. Well, for some reason, I thought it would be like sing-songy. I was kind of surprised.
Oh, just the Malefic Mere Dykes to do the rhymes.
I like when they break the mold and do something a little more straightforward.
That's fair. Okay,
so
well,
sad,
that was not good. That seems like a very troubling final bits of words. But honestly, that's very all-encompassing. I think that really gives us a crystal picture.
After she stole the children, killing her was really quite satisfying. I know that they say it shouldn't be, but it was.
We've met a representative of the children population, and so honestly, the verdict's kind of out on whether that was that bad of a thing. But I hear you. I hear general sentiment. I would agree, but exceptions can be made. Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna go
to the bakery,
brew some triple RPAs or something. Okay.
Why not just?
They taste like grass.
Why not just dip these rags in something that a blacksmith uses, like oil or some foul-smelling chemical? That would be quick and simple, and you wouldn't have to brew anything.
Must be flammable.
If you guys would like to try to brew things, I'll give you that for free, like no time cost, as a check, because it's a good idea.
Because I like to brew things, and I want to make sure that we're putting all of our efforts into solving this problem. And they probably already tried that.
This seems less like solving a problem and more kind of like, kicking the can down the road a bit. But I think if it keeps them here and safe and gets us a spear, and this guy,
use the help.
it's going to go and punch something in the face at some point. So it's pretty good.
That's how he likes to spend his time.
Yes, I can actively protect the village instead of reactively.
Sure. You did a really good job of that last time, but that's fine. Okay, so we're going?
Let's go.
So do I need to roll?
Yes. So as you guys sort of hustle your way over to the bakery, you get hit with an even sort of more scent of sweetness than what you're already feeling accustomed to walking around this village. Because you realize you've kind of been marinating in this sweet scent, but getting to the bakery is just like an overwhelming amount of it. And as you go in, you do see Gerald, who you'd met earlier. He's got sort of dough in his hands as he seems to be trying to, this is a bakery, but he seems to be trying to do pretzels, and you can see he's doing bread, and it looks like they're more on the savory style instead of very sweet style of bread. And he'll kind of look up, and you kind of also see Letty's probably specifically maybe keys in on this. Rory has been sitting in a corner on a stool, kind of like looking down with nothing around him and nothing in his head. And he looks extremely bored, and like he's been told he has to stay there until Gerald tells him otherwise.
Sad little punk.
Oh, travelers, welcome. Hold on. There we go. That's a little bit better. Yes, you saved Rory again, and I do appreciate that. Here, and he'll sort of pull out a fresh tray of buns, and he'll go, this is a hearty pumpkin bread. I'm with a little bit of maple syrup. I do like sweets, even though we're turning into them. One for each of you. And so he'll give you guys a fresh pumpkin loaf with maple syrup, and these guys are 1 day's worth of rations. So they're very filling. Now, I'm also interested in sort of helping you guys defeat this curse, obviously, because my son continues to be kidnapped and not be cautious. Yes. So I wanted to fill in some blanks, because I'm sure Rory told quite a lot of things to you, but not necessarily useful things. And he'll go, I love the boy. He'll learn to focus as he gets older. So you should know, a year ago, when we were trying to deal with Dulcina the first time, Celine used a magical climbing rope to try to get into the top tower, because we figured out that's where the children were going from. Unfortunately, it was discovered the window was too small, even for children to fit through. Now, yes, I did hear that you may have acquired a potion recently, so I'll tell you that might be useful for you if you can figure out how to climb up. Obviously, the magic rope disappeared with Celine. So Rory and maybe how many children was it? 7 children or something were kidnapped. Rory is the last one at this point in time. But they're just in the glass cabinets in the town hall. They're fine, as long as they haven't been nibbled on by the rats. But the children remembered when they tried to escape. They told me that when they left whatever tower room that they were stuck in, they would get fuzzy and pass out. So that's something to be careful of. And also, Rory said that Dulcina hummed a tune to when she was leaving their tower after feeding them. Something like that. I'll remember it a little bit better. But that's something to be aware of as well. Again, more than just Rory's father, I was part of the raiding party with Celine. I was a volunteer I concentrated more on the children and let Baz punch things in the face, and Celine be a useful guard captain because she actually knows what she's doing. Her loss is great on our village. She was quite competent. Yes. Did you have questions about sort of anything that I can fill in that may have been mentioned? I'm here to help you. You're our hope.
Yeah, I'll let everyone else ask questions if they have them. If you wouldn't mind me using some of your equipment, I need to try to make something.
Certainly. Well, yes, of course. For the adventurers, please. And he'll sort of usher you. And you do see, it's a nice big kitchen. He's got like one of those giant metal sort of mixing pots that people have in bakeries with a large sort of mixing arm. And you can kind of see like what appears to be just nothing above it. My fairy godmother allowed for magical contraptions. Feel free to use that for mixing. And then he'll point to a table next to him, this beautiful wood. It's clearly all a cutting board top table. Everything there is clean as of this morning. Please. I don't have anything other than baked ingredients, but you're welcome to flour, sugar, baking soda, baking powder.
Do you have any lemons?
Let me search. And he'll kind of like filter around a little bit and he'll pull out like maybe 5 lemons.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. They can talk to you. I need to work.
Okay. Yes, so questions. We'll split this into 2. Melissa, I'll come back to you and we'll do some rolls in a little sec here. Did you 3 have any questions? He seemed to be, I'm happy to translate anything Rory said to you into normal human talk.
All right, well, that's very how much baking soda do you have?
And he'll kind of like look over and pull out just like a mason jar of baking soda.
Do you have like more in storage somewhere, or because we could use baking soda to scare off the rats because it really interacts quite strangely when they eat it and gets into the stomach acid and things.
This jar is what I have left right now. We haven't been able to get merchants in for a year.
That's a good point. It's fair.
But if you need it, you're welcome to it. I can just make flatbed for the town from now on.
Okay. Well, it's something to think about. Let's see. I know Adelaide's going to stir up something sour, something bad tasting to make the rats, stay away from the town hall. Your son, you said he keeps getting kidnapped.
Yes. He also keeps running into the woods, but yes, right. he's been, I would count this last one with the grizzly bear, which he's told me about, and I do greatly appreciate you rescuing him from it as number 2.
Okay, he's been kidnapped. He's left twice. Okay.
Yes.
Understood.
Josina used to come to the village like once a week before she decided to take all the children.
All at once. There was never like, a lead, like a test case, like a test balloon. Like she stole one just to see what would happen, just to see what the town's reaction might be.
Not here. She was ancient, 80, 90 years old.
Okay.
And she looked it and she kept talking about getting younger again. And then she would like pinch the children's cheeks and say, oh, how cute, and act like a granny, and just like a normal, happy to be there, happy with children granny. But then, she just, suddenly all of our children were gone.
Letty's going to like lean over to Gallicrow and look away and be like,
I think she's taking the kids and it's going to like maybe drain them with like magic and make herself younger because all the kids are younger.
I think that's probably true. My mother, the Queen of Rambles, said that she knew a countess that would drain the blood out of children and bathe in them to be young.
Wow. It must be rough getting old.
I can't imagine 80 or 90. I hear 50 is so old. I can't imagine anything past that.
Huh.
I'm
50
7
feels-
days.
Well, my mountain, Jade Peak's been around for eons, so I don't know. That must be like really old then, even more than 80 or 90 years. It's interesting how it's all relative, you know? Like for a mountain, 80 or 90 years is like a blink of the eye. But to humans or even to rats, 80 or 90 years is such a short time. Huh. We really should make better use of our time, don't you think?
Well, I've had a pretty busy 7 days, but yes.
And with that, we'll look over to Melissa, who is currently trying to brew a potion, a concoction. So your plan is to try to, like, I guess, create a lemon juice that you can.
Some type of lemon dough or something that's pushable into holes. So like the sourness coming from the lemon, basically.
All right. Sounds.
Also have sensitive noses. You could try making a stink bomb, since it appears most people can smell anyway because they're turning into candy.
I am capable of things that are more brewed. I am not. I do herbalism and brewing. I'm not so much with the alchemy and those kinds of things.
You can't brew something that's pungent. I got it.
So we're gonna say this is a good idea. You're not like a kitchen magic, but you as you said, you have herbalism and brewing. So we're gonna call this a straight roll. I'm gonna say this is going to be wits, and I would like you to just roll under your wits.
So I'm aiming for under 12.
Mm-hmm.
And I unfortunately rolled an 18.
Now, you guys do have the opportunity. It would cost you your heart dice, but not Adelaide, but you guys could sacrifice your potential health later to try to roll a d4 and help Adelaide lower that roll.
So it would take 2 of us to do that, right?
It would take 2 of you with really good rolls. Yes, probably. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm willing to sacrifice mine if somebody else is willing to.
Sure.
All right,
let's gamble.
Well, hold on, Adelaide. Listen,
Oh,
I know exactly what you need in there. And he reaches into his chest cavity and he pulls out what looks like kind of a corroded bird's nest.
Ooh.
And it smells kind of like guano. And he's like, this might help. I got a 4.
Oh,
very nice.
Wow.
Oh.
So minus 4. So you now have a 14.
Well,
so we need at least 2 more reduced from this roll.
I don't know much about cooking, but I do know a bit about baking, if you know what I mean. I'm a bit of an alchemist myself. I played a bit, with the various substances up on JP. We don't need to talk about it too much.
okay.
So she'll go through her pockets and things, and I rolled a 3.
Nice. All right. So with the help of your friends, Adelaide, you managed to come up with a lemon dough that you can shove into bowls.
This will be really, really good. Lagolla, you smell this? And she sort of shoves the dough in Lagolla's face. Smell this. Do you think that's sour enough?
And you are muted.
Lagolla?
It is not. It was not unmuting. Okay. So I think that even if you're not a full alchemist, you never smell something directly, you waft it. But yes, that will do.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, this will do. Yes, thank you. Rory's dad, we kind of made a little bit of a mess, but we're in a little bit of a rush. Is it?
For you,
looks around
saved
at
my son, and he'll kind of side eye his kid, who's still grounded for another 2 hours in the corner, and then we'll talk about it again. Of course, I will clean up after you. Not a worry. Please do what you need to do. I'm here to help.
Sorry for the guano on your cooking surfaces.
Yes.
Yes.
And you can kind of see his like almost 2D gingerbread form with the sort of the icing hair twitches a little bit at the guano, but it's like, yep, I'll deal with it.
I'm so sorry. For days 1 and 2 of my life, I had a couple of bats living inside of my head, and then they moved down into my chest. I think they're still rattling around in here somewhere, they might be in Letty's backpack now.
Well, just be careful. They don't turn into confectionery and eat you from the inside out.
Well, that would be terrible.
Were they moving when they were inside of you?
Well, yeah, they're a couple of fruit bats.
Oh,
those aren't small. Those are big.
Well, no, American fruit bats. They're like this big.
These things, they're not moving, so I don't think they're yours. They're probably a different one.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Knocks on his chest. I think they might still be in here somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure of it. I'm sure they're just fine. These are mountain bats, you see? Mountain bats. And she's looking at Adelaide and Lagolla, like knowingly.
And Adelaide sort of like turns her back to Gallicrow and pulls a little berry and sort of like sneaks it into your bag and kind of drops it down.
Just keep dropping stuff on everybody. Quick, give her your skin. Weirdo. Okay.
I'm going to say, Letty can roll me maybe a grace to see if you didn't like just squish them with like
sure
if your dexterity, your grace dexterity was good enough to. They do not eat the berry.
14 over 10. That's the squish. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm like, oh. Well, they're going to make lovely slippers for somebody someday. Waste not, what not.
I could put them in my boots, and they would be like insoles for my feet.
Okay. Sure. Let's make that. Let's put that on a to-do list. Let's go ahead and put that on the after we resolve this curse thing. We'll do the bat soul thing. Sure.
Uh-huh. Do you have a piece of chalk? I'll write the list.
I do have talcum powder, but it's not quite the same.
Well, I'll just remember it because I'm very bright.
Sure. Oh, of course you are. That's what we say all the time. You're
as you guys
Gallicrow.
Talk on your way back over to the town hall.
Yes.
To give
Walking and talking.
Walking and talking. Yes, you brought something.
Yes. Does this seem sour? And she'll do the same thing that she did to Lagolla, where she just sort of like shoves this sort of like dough in his face. Does it seem sour enough?
I can't tell, but it seems like me. So yes, I think this will work.
Great.
Oh, well, if my name isn't Balthazar Hartley, I am going to shove this into all the corners and avoid those rats. And he'll essentially take your lemon dough and shove a spearmint spear just straight into your hands before turning around and marching into the town hall. That is yours now, as he goes away.
So I just said, if his name is not Balthazar Hartley, he's going to shove all those things into the holes. And he's shoving the things into the holes. So does that mean his name is not Balthazar Hartley? And
it's Baz. He goes by Baz.
Honestly, this whole time
I was going to guess Jeffrey.
What a stupid name Jeffrey is. What kind of unimaginative parrot gave them that name?
I can't imagine.
Lagolla, what were you going to say?
I was just saying that this whole time I haven't been able to stop thinking about, did he turn into this yellow sour thing because he had cirrhosis before? Like, it makes it a bad turn into... It doesn't matter.
Sure, I get it. Hey, what was that wafting thing? Are you sure that's right? Because I've made a lot of potions in my time, and I don't do the wafting thing. I just breathe it directly in.
There is a William Nye who would cringe at that. But he's from where I am.
Okay, well, so each their own, I guess. Well, hey, we did something. Who wants the spear?
Probably someone that is high of resolve, I would think.
Okay, well, that's not me.
My resolve is 12.
10.
10 as well.
Well, Gallicrow, you have a spear now. Wow, we don't have very good resolve.
Thank you so very much. I've never had a spear before.
Well,
what do you do with it?
You stab things with it.
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
What bad things, more specifically?
Right, and it's going to be great because when you get your peg leg and then you've got a spear like a harpoon, it's going to make the ensemble even better.
And then they'll call me Gallicrow Ahab or Ishmael or maybe Moby.
Moby.
I think I'll keep calling you Gallicrow if that's okay. I like that.
Okay.
Gallicrow the spear wielder.
Yeah. Okay, well, quite the creative bunch we are coming up with these fun nicknames for everyone. What's next, do we think, on the to-do list?
Are you ready to leave now? We did the drive-by.
We did drive right by, just like you said. Mm-hmm. We can try to head out to the Pixies or something else.
Right.
The foraging grounds too. We could go out and look at that rainbow circle.
We could. All right.
Are those in the same vague direction?
So if you look at the Tanglewood map, you will see the Berry Brook is northwest. And the foraging area is west, true. So not really.
Do we need to also make sure that, I know we might have stopped the rats, but we got to still get a rat tail too, right? Now, do we need that rat tail before we go talk to the Pixies?
I don't know. Well, we don't really know when the rats are going to show up.
It's a tail of the king, right? So is that
the Fae King, right? The
Earl King.
So are we thinking we need the tail of the Earl King?
Is the Earl King a rat? Is he a rat king?
I don't know.
I think that's the implication. Is that
it's not a question I can answer at this time.
I just have Tale of King of Pixies Land, Ring of Gold from Earl King's hand.
So Tale of Gold from Pixie Land.
What
did you say?
Of gold from Pixie
Tale
Land.
of Gold from Pixie Land.
Tale of King of Pixie's Land and Ring of Gold from Earl King's hand.
You didn't read that clearly in the least. That wasn't clear at all.
Tale of the King of the Pixies Land.
So the King of the Pixies
Land. Earl King's hand. So the Earl King and the Pixies are two separate things, right? Yeah. Okay. All right.
So
let's either go steal the tail of the Pixie King, or maybe go over to the rainbow circle in the foraging garden.
Okay. We have 7 days. Some of these things are giving us items, which are essentially making us more capable. So maybe we start trying to do some.
Yeah. Well, we could go northwest
to outfit us.
We could go northwest up to the Pixies. Now that we've got the shrinking potion, deal with them, and then drop directly south down to the foraging grounds. And then we could track back east to Deer Hollow.
And the thing with the healing potion
Good.
is that
or
we
we
need
could do
the
it in our
healing
first favor,
potion
too.
at the tower because the witch's tower had an entrance that was too small. So I think the implication is that we need the shrinking potion both for the place with the pixies
We had 8
and
doses.
the witch's tower.
We have plenty of doses, so we can basically get 2 uses out of it because we can have 8 doses. That's one for each of us for both the pixies and for the witch's tower if we decide to use it for that too. So I think we have enough.
Yeah, here's where you guys got extremely lucky and rolled high on your dose number.
Yeah.
So maybe we go to the foraging area, see what we can find.
Okay.
Maybe we
Okay.
get some more items and such to help us, in case we have to fight a bunch of pixies. Because, if we got to fight a bunch of pixies, that could be tough.
Adelaide pulls out her sling and rocks. Yeah,
Sure.
this may not do a whole lot.
What if the pixie king is a monkey?
So as you guys
Wukong!
get to the edge of Deer Hollow, looking into the forest, you decide to go to the Pixie Land or the foraging area is the end
Foraging.
discussion. Foraging first?
Foraging.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
And if I can interrupt real quick, I had a couple raids, so thank you. Most recent raid was Laugh Love Lindy. Welcome in. And then before that was Random Encounters Guild. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you both.
All right. So as you guys step out towards the foraging area, you know that it's pretty much going to take you the rest of the day to get there and probably into the evening to come back to Deer Hollow, or you can risk it to Berrybrook, but that it would be a greater risk. As you kind of step into this forest, the gloom and sort of the branches immediately starting to come down. You hear the sweet sound of birds, but when you look up, you can tell they're just marshmallow pips, and it starts to gurgle. You feel the sunlight strong on your faces as you wipe away the strip that stays there. And then looking down with more knowledge than you had before, you realize across the ground as you start to walk forward are bits of sugar, some marshmallows, some taffies, some bits of cotton candy. And as you're going further in, there's in front of you a group of 4 squirrels. You can't really see the details, like their faces, but they're all 4 sort of facing in on a circle, and they seem to be tearing apart or eating something that appears to be like a little chocolate chip cookie. You weren't sure what shape it might have had originally. And as they're going, specifically Lagolla, you probably hear actual animal talk of just going, sugar, 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 sugar. And then as they're consuming this cookie, one of the other 4 squirrels that was, you could tell, kind of had started to form more like a hard candy coating around it, suddenly freezes, and you watch as it melts, almost reshaping itself into just a toffee candy right next to the other 3 squirrels. And they turn as one. Their eyes that you can now see are just like bloodshot. And normally squirrels have just black, pitty eyes. But these ones almost seem to have a glow behind them. And you see they all have some form of confectionery growing on them. And they immediately run at the new toffee that just came and start tearing it apart, not focusing on you guys at all right now.
So everything's a little addicted to the sugar that's appearing. You don't need me to tell you that because you just watched a squirrel turn into a candy and then the other 3 ate it.
Yes, this is all very concerning. And Adelaide just sort of looks at Letty. It's a little bit of pity.
Okay. Did they? Does it look like they kind of? Do they get like stronger and more like invigorated by eating the thing? Does it look like if they continue to eat it, they'll get stronger and more invigorating? If we kind of nip it in the bud right now, that might be a good idea.
My working theory is that perhaps they gain some power, but it seems like there's a ceiling that once they hit it, they turn into it. But I'm just guessing. They were eating a cookie, and then one just fully turned into that toffee. But I don't know.
I hear you. Okay, I'm just saying that, squirrels are basically rats with fuzzy tails. So,
And then as you guys push past them, sort of maybe skirting around this group of squirrels so as not to attract their attention. And Lagolla, they seem more and more ravenous as you watch them abandon that toffee and go for something else that's more whole, a candy cane that's nearly complete, just on the side of a tree, and just start breaking it apart amongst themselves. Clearly, that's their only focus. And you can, their speech is so focused, it's hard for you to even hear it. As you guys keep pushing into the forest, you hear a crunch to the side of you, and turning around, you guys see to your left 2 deer, large antlers, male. And looking closely, their eyes, you can start to see that glowing is appearing in them, like just a little bit of almost white light coming out from the center of them. And Letty, it's a little familiar as you see rock candy has started to grow along the faces and backs of these deers, and their antlers are less bone, and you can see they've actually solidified a little bit and are almost transparent, and they are focused on you. And you start to see drool starting coming out of their mouths. You feel like they're going to be coming at you to eat you in a second, or try to, as you have started to be affected by the curse.
Oh dear. Well, we have a lot of caribou and such on the mountain on J Peak. They are quite terrifying. I don't like the way it's looking at me. I don't like the way it's looking at me. We should try the spear out. Yeah, we should see.
I would like you guys all to roll me some wits. I remind you, if you roll below your wits, you get to go before these 2 deer. If you roll above your wits, you will go after them.
I got a 7, under 9.
Nice.
I got a 12, which is exactly my wits.
That's all you need.
I got a 14, which is not good.
Okay.
8 under 15, I'm good.
All right, everybody but Derek gets to go first. Okay, so Letty, Adelaide, and Gallicrow, you guys have the opportunity to do something. Haven't charged at you yet, but you suspect they're going to be doing something. So you have a moment to choose an action. Or movement.
I mean, Gallicrow will level the spear and try to stab one if he's close enough to do so.
All right. You can easily close in that distance, aiming for one specifically. I believe you need to roll me a resolute to make sure you can actually hit it.
All right, my resolve is 12. I got a 10.
All right, so I believe the spear does a D8 of damage, if I'm remembering the equipment. Yes.
6.
All right, so you level this sort of spearman's spear at the first deer, sort of aiming at Letty, giving it 6 damage. And you actually spear it straight through its chest, and you see it popping out the other side. Oddly, you would expect, even a 7-day-old scarecrow that you are, you would expect more resistance with meat and flesh and muscle, and it just popped out the other side, and it immediately collapses on your spear, almost dragging you down a little bit, and its head lolls to the side, almost like it was already dead before you hit it. As the curse seems to have hollowed it out a little bit. After Aaron, Melissa, or Jeff, either of you guys can go in any order.
Adelaide would want to see if she can climb a nearby tree so that she can try to jump on the back of one of these deer.
Okay. So climbing is going to be a resolute check.
Okay. Step one.
Step one.
I'm trying to roll under a D10. So I'm trying to roll under a 10. Sorry,
50,
not D10. And I rolled exactly a 10.
Nice. So yeah, with a little bit of difficulty, you do manage to find a pine tree close by and start to climb it. Your fingers sinking in, and you realize this is almost like chocolate bark. These trees aren't going to be trees very much longer, and able to get up to the top where you notice the pine needles are just like little bits of sugar, candied sugar set in. But yes, you are above the deer.
Is it too much in one turn to climb up and jump on top of it? Would that be my second turn?
It would, but
That's
I'm going to
fine.
let you do it anyway.
Okay, because I'm wanting to do my magic touch.
Yes.
On this other one?
I'm going to say I'll give you disadvantage on this to do 2 actions, but I'll totally let you do it if you're willing to try.
Yeah. So with the innate ability, sorry, I don't know why I said it that way. With the innate abilities, you're rolling the D6.
Sorry, it's going to be like a dexterity or grace check to jump on it, and then you can just roll your grace dice. Sorry, I didn't give you the action. Okay. My bad.
Okay, so grace is a 9. So I rolled a 15.
As you guys watch Adelaide climb this tree, she sinks into a little bit, and it doesn't seem like she's expecting it to be as soft as it turns out to be. And the chocolate branch cracks under her weight as she slips off the side, unfortunately, onto her back, unable to reach the deer this turn.
Ow!
But she tried. She did something cool. Tried to do something cool.
I tried.
Yeah. Jeff?
Okay.
Letty?
Letty looks around for a second and just is like contemplating finding a place to just, hunker down, since they seem to have a very keen eye on her. But then seeing Gallicrow rush in, she does not want to leave her friends up there alone for fear that it just might turn their attention, because her motivation is protecting her friends. So she is going to, this is a bad idea because she's not, as big as she is not a frontline fighter. She's going to try to charge up and help Gallicrow to maybe take out the one that he was already kind of stabbing away at. So
the one he was stabbing away at is dead.
Oh, it's already dead. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because you said it was dead already. I wasn't sure if it was just like undead.
Oh, yeah. I was just flavoring the fact that he was mostly candy and hollowed out, and he didn't have flesh and muscle to help thing.
Okay. So, she's going to charge up. She's got her staff, which she uses when she walks. And she's just going to charge up. I don't want caribou. And then she's going to swing down with her petrified staff. And
your staff uses grace, I assume?
Grace or resolve. It doesn't really matter. They're both the same. Because it definitely doesn't use wits. As long as it doesn't use, it doesn't use wits. So yeah, it's basically 50-50.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, I got this. I don't have this. Oh, goodness.
So I think she's just sort of, this is not her forte. She's not like she'd rather be getting the rocks in the earth to help her, but she'll run up and she'll sort of swing at it, and she's slow, right? Like that's the thing. She's big, she's lumbering, she's got like a stone giant blood in her. So and this is a sprightly deer of some kind, so it's able to like dodge and move, I think. And she just can't quite land the hit as she just sort of swings with without grace.
Lady Lagolla, you watch as one of your friends just spears one of the deer, and your other two seem to try to go after the second deer that stands tall and strong, both not quite getting it. The oak staff just hitting the rock candy around the horns of the deer ineffectively, and your other one seems to be on their back for some reason. And then
It's
you
what I
watch
do. I
as-
climb, I jump, I fall.
classic Melissa character trait. As you watch as this deer then levels its horns at Letty, having just attacked it. And Letty, I need you to do a grace check against, just a grace check against yours.
Okay. I got this. I don't got this. Nope. She's just too big and lumbering. So she gets hit. It's a 15.
All right. So you see as Letty is going to get speared by some of these rock candy antlers. Now, because Letty is in melee range, that is actually a good thing because it means I don't get a running start with this guy. And I'm only going to do a d4 of damage, which is 1 point of damage.
Okay. I've got armor though. I've got light armor underneath my pilgrim's clothing.
Then if you have light armor, you can reduce that value by your light armor, which probably makes it 0 damage as the horn catches in your light armor. You're probably nice leather.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like to think
Just
it's
saving you.
I like to think she killed a bear because she's got a bear claw, and I think I just like she at some point like she killed a bear, or maybe she found a dead bear. Maybe it was that. And so yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Oh man. All right, and Lady Lagolla, it is your turn.
Okay, she will very quickly pull the bow. I imagine she just has it like slung on a shoulder. So she'll very quickly pull the bow, notch an arrow, and seeing that the situation has moved rather quickly, she is just going to try and shoot the remaining caribou.
That is a grace check, please.
Yes, I was trying to click the wrong character sheet. It's a 5. I hit.
That is a success. So I believe, how much damage does your bow do? You've got
D6. 6 damage.
6 damage. So
Nice.
as you guys watch Letty and this deer have an epic confrontation, nobody giving way, Lady Lagolla just behind it draws her short bow and lets loose her arrow, and it flies true and straight right through that glowing eye, almost like a pinpointed target. As its head cracks back, the snapping sounds strong. Like when something dies or where you twist its head and that snapping of bone, it sounds like that, but almost worse as you realize it had almost like calcified with rock candy around its neck, and the sudden jerking motion from the arrow as it reacts to it, just like the head almost wrenches itself sideways without much effort, and it falls, following its head down into a pile on itself.
But she will have after she shot the arrow, she will have very quickly put the bow back on her shoulder in one swift movement.
Great shot! Look at. Oh wait, who shot that? Oh,
not me.
Yes, not to
can
worry.
somebody give me a hand up?
Yes, of course, and she'll help pull you to your feet. Yes, I shot the arrow, but it was over with. No need to flourish.
Oh, okay. They were eyeing me. I think they wanted to eat me or something.
That's why I went for the eyes, so they couldn't eye you anymore.
Wait, why? Oh, but they could still eat me, though.
If it were still moving, I don't know if they're alive. That's a whole nother debate for another day.
We're past it now, though, and we don't need to talk about how I didn't actually contribute to it.
We can if you'd like to.
You distracted it. That's what you did.
Not.
You distracted it long enough for me to come and distract it further, which allowed Lagolla to hit it. See, it was perfect strategy.
True. You were the starting domino. You were the starting domino in the sequence.
Yes,
exactly.
Gallicrow, you did exactly what you're supposed to do with that spear.
That's fantastic. You said use the spear. I used the spear. I wasn't 100% sure what end I was supposed to poke it with, but it looks like it worked out okay.
You guessed right.
Yeah. Pointy end, I hear. Yeah.
Pointy end. I'm gonna put a little note.
They took the pointy stuff from me on JP because I kept poking things with it. They said, Letty, stop poking people with the pointy end. And then they gave me the staff instead because I didn't listen.
as you guys are kind of standing here, these two deer bodies on the ground, praising each other and celebrating your victory. Also, you're managed to avoid anybody getting nicked by these deers, causing more confectionery curse. You realize there's a bit of a silence in the woods, and as you look up, you see the glowing eyes of maybe 24 squirrels all in these trees above you, staring down towards this fresh kill that you've done.
I think
the
we should
squirrels are
leave.
hungry. Yes, we need to go now.
I don't like the mean squirrels.
Let's run quickly.
Yeah,
quickly.
well, we could briskly walk. We don't want to startle them.
Right, yeah, they're very temperamental. Slowly.
So yeah, I would agree. Let's back away and then turn and run when they get out of range.
Gallicrow reaches under his straw hat and pulls out his beloved teddy bear and holds it in his left arm as he backs off.
That's really smart. As you guys manage to pull back, you hear the sort of unearthly screech of these squirrels as they jump from the trees and land on or near the carcasses of these deer. And just you hear some tearing sounds as whatever remaining flesh remained, just the skin of these deers is torn apart to get to the candy insides. Like a bad piñata, like a really horrible piñata.
Say what you will, but at least they wait for them to be unanimated.
Or just easy prey.
I want all of us to stay animated together for a really long time. Staying animated is good.
As you travel deeper into the Tanglewood forest towards where you believe the foraging area is, the woods feel different, realizing sort of how deep this is. As you push through the syrupy sunlight, you can feel it sticking to your lungs and throat, just by nature of the needing of breath. You find yourselves breaking through finally from these dense pine trees into a beautiful clearing filled with, there's all sorts of mushrooms and plant life. You're definitely going to need to check what is and isn't there. And as you're looking around, your eyes are immediately caught on what is different, what is clearly not in the right spot. And you see sort of this large standing stone, several feet taller than a human. And you can see around it are like a rainbow set of mushrooms. You see a red, yellow, green, blue, orange, violet, and indigo. And so the colors of the rainbow, quite literally. Are you going to go closer, or are you going to? What are we feeling like?
I could maybe talk to the stone, see if they could tell us anything about, the area, information, that sort of thing.
Tell it I said hello.
Okay, I will. But someone could just watch my back, because you know how it is, stones, we take our time. And could be a long conversation. I don't want any more caribou sneaking up.
How about instead of watching your back, I stand next to you and I watch everywhere else to make sure nothing gets to your back?
That seems like a more efficient positioning tactic. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Well, I'll do that then.
We'll help you, Gallicrow.
You're the best, Adelaide. You could be a best friend too.
I love Adelaide's character.
And Adelaide's
so positive. I love it.
Given away a few of her berries, so her smile had sort of gotten a little bit smaller. But you see just like the smile kind of get bigger at that.
All right. So as you guys kind of push towards this stone, Letty, you specifically and lead to go to this rock itself, you notice that there's actually writing and decorations that seem to be carved into it. You see a hand uprooting a mushroom from the ground and a sort of mushroom motifs around it, some sort of still in the ground, and then you see written on the stone a language that you don't recognize naturally. There's certain checks you can do that I believe you might have the ability for, but this is definitely not the common tongue that you are used to. You don't quite recognize what this could be.
I think I took linguistics. So could I possibly ruminate on this a bit and see if I could study it?
You certainly can. So this is going to allow, yes. So because you took linguistics, you actually can take a wits test instead of spending time. You actually get an immediate answer if you succeed.
Sweet. Okay, here we go. Why? Someone marred this beautiful stone. Oh, wait, I think it's language. 1 second.
6 under 15. That's a success.
Nice. Beautiful success. All right. So as you kind of stare at it, you realize or remember somewhere in the back of your mind from an old book that you read, maybe with an unusual alphabet in it. This is Fae. This is written in sort of Fae language, and it reads, test your wits or test your luck to find the shroom you need to pluck. Identify by sight or taste. I am not red, nor am I lime. You'll find your efforts are a waste if you are asked to make a rhyme. What am I?
Shitburger. It's a riddle. I hate riddles.
And so she repeats it for everybody.
And as you kind of ponder this riddle, that is where we are going to call it for the evening.
Nice. Very nice.
All right.
Very nice.
So fun. I will, for anybody that is watching and is interested, we have a Discord. I'm going to put the riddle in Discord for people to read. And otherwise, Jeff, what's going on with Lollygaggers this week?
All right. Yeah, we got a full schedule, but as is tradition, we're going to throw it to Aaron first to tell us a little bit what's happened over on our good friends, the Garblag channel.
Fantastic. So Wednesday's on hiatus for a little while. We had a couple of people who had some work commitments, so we'll probably be back in the beginning of March for Judge Dredd. On Thursday, though, you can definitely catch Lewis in the GM seat, continuing his One Ring campaign, the Doom of Small Forges. You know, our dwarfs in Moria. You can't beat that. And then come back next Tuesday, and Pete will be starting his OSR Hyperborea campaign.
Ooh,
it was a awesome Kickstarter from a couple of years ago. So,
is that the 3rd edition?
Yeah, I think
is
so.
That what it was?
I think so.
Okay, I think nice. I think Matt ran us through 2nd edition once. We think we did a one shot, like Rats on the Walls or something like that. 2nd edition. I don't know if we've ever played 3rd edition though. Cool. Right on. Okay. As for the rest of us, let's see. What do I got? First, our dear friend Steven is making a game. It's called Huckleberry. It is a horror cinematic Western. And he's been working really hard on it. And it's really awesome. We played it here on the channel. You can go to our YouTube page. You can see the actual play of it. And just a few days ago, Steven, while I was gone, without my permission, just jumped on the Twitch channel and started streaming some sort of like development thing. And apparently people watched. So we have to make him do more of that regularly because that'll piss him off. So let's do that. So you can see, how the sausage is made. Also, just a couple weeks ago, put a new update. So there's like a second adventure that's out there right now, and there's more kind of stuff coming in the works. So take a look at that, huckleberryrpg.com. As for us here on the channel, next stream is Thursday. You can see several of us here, everyone but Derek, because I polled people like, would we rather have Derek or Long? And everyone just said, is there a third option? And I said no. And I'm like, all right, let's take Long. So the rest of us are playing so mean Swords of the Serpentine on Thursday. Friday, I think we're back to Dragonbane this week. Is that right?
Dragonbane. Yep.
Okay.
Some more Dragonbane.
And then Saturday, very excited, we're playing Han Cluster, which is a new game coming up on Kickstarter In March, it is a Savage Worlds. It's by one of our friends of the channel, Tracy Sizemore. If you watch any of our Holler campaign a couple years ago, you know that Tracy guest GM for a couple sessions, and that she's one of the kind of developers of Holler. So we're going to be playing through a couple weeks, a little interlude between our Call of Cthulhu locations. We're going to be doing some Han Cluster. And then Monday, we should be starting up a new job for Otherscape. That's what we got going on. And then Tuesday, obviously, more Perils and Princesses. Okay. Melissa, you want to call out the people who rated one more time?
Yeah, so Random Encounters Guild and Laugh Love Lindy.
Awesome. Thank you so much for those raids. If you haven't followed their channels, you definitely should. We're going to raid, let's see, they just finished. I was going to do Omega Ohm TV, but they literally just finished. So let's do Ticking Time Bomb Gaming. They're playing through some Pendragon. So let's go ahead and give them a raid. Follow their raid. For great rest of your night. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Good games.
Good night.